What's up guys, thanks for tuning in on today's video. I'm Gabe. Today I'm going to be installing a Flex Fuel E85 kit on my 5th generation Camaro ZL1. This is going to be part one of a two-part series of this whole E85 Flex Fuel modification to my 5th gen ZL1. The first part being the actual install of the kit, and the second part, which you guys definitely have to stay tuned for that, is when we're going to actually install the final component of this E85 upgrade to my ZL1, and we're going to actually tune it and get some results to see just how much of a difference it makes with my current setup. Now keep in mind, my car currently makes about 570 wheel. I made an entire video showcasing the modifications that this car came with when I bought it. You can check that out over here in the card above or in the link in the description below. So this is the Flex Fuel kit that I'm going to be using on my 5th gen ZL1. It's by Lethal Garage, so you're going to get a ton of things in this little package here. It's fairly easy to install. Should take you anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes depending on any other complexities that you might have, but basically you're going to get in this kit a fuel line hose over here, the actual Flex Fuel sensor. You're gonna get the fuel line removal tool, some zip ties over here, and then obviously the cables that are all plug and play with the system that you have on the car. So additional tools that you're gonna need is going to be an 8mm socket and a wrench here, plier, some kind of like a pin of some sort. What you would actually wanna use is a plier to cut the zip tie that's on the ECU cable. I don't have that, so I'm gonna have to kind of practice with this box cutter knife here. You guys will see why I didn't become a surgeon. Oh, and you should also have like a separate rag because when you disconnect the fuel line, some fuel will come out. Okay, so step one is going to be to locate the fuel line, which is gonna be over here. Here's a different angle of the fuel line running down here, and as you can see, there's like a metal clip here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. So now I'm gonna start putting the rag. So now that we've disconnected the metal pin, we're gonna go ahead and use that blue tool that was provided in the kit for us to remove the fuel line hose. And the way you do it is that you're gonna slide it and then push up. Reason why is because these fuel lines, they have like sort of little bit of clips in there. What this is gonna do is gonna slide in, push those tabs, and then you're gonna pull out with that. We're sliding it. You see? All right, oh wow. Oh, great. All right, before we keep going, I wanna plug in this borescope. That is something that's pretty useful. The link will be in my bio, but basically here's the camera. Right there on the light with the flashlight, you could see the blue fuel line removal tool. And here on the screen, you can see it as well. So this is a pretty useful tool if, for example, something fell and you really can see it. For example, if it fell in between the heat shield right there and you don't know where it is or you want to push it out, this would be a pretty good tool to allow you to see if you're really making any progress or not. All right, back to the install. So next step is going to be to install the fuel line that came in the kit on the stub right there. We're literally just gonna slide it in here. All right, so this is how the fuel line is going to go. This side facing upwards. And what we're gonna do is connect both of these ends to the sensor. There you go, it made a clicking noise. All right, so something that you definitely wanna do is make sure that you've positioned how you're going to mount or position the sensor or where you're gonna hide it before you actually connect it. So now that you have the sensor here, we're gonna go ahead and get the cables that came with the kit. We're gonna start plugging in the power source over here. You're gonna lift this hose and that's gonna expose the evap and pull it out. So then you're gonna get the old plug here and plug it inside. And then this part over here, you're gonna ground it to bolt over here, which is actually not an 8mm, it's a 10mm. So that is how the ground should look like. So the ZL1 has a different ECU or computer than the SS. The SS actually has 2 of these, while the ZL1 has 3, right? So we're gonna be looking at the one all the way to the left, or closest to the radiator fan. But to get it off, we're actually gonna push down on this black center here, pry it open. That will allow us to release. Take off the cover, which is back here. I'm gonna use my nails, honestly. I guess they're long enough for that. Thank God I didn't paint them. And this is the plastic cover that comes right off, and it's gonna expose these cables right here. You see these little like blue pieces right here? Those are all plugs. And if you notice, there's that zip tie that I was saying from before. I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm not gonna use the box cutter because I'm not trying to cut any of these cables. So I actually was able to take this off camera. This is how it should look like. You gotta be super careful with this, because if you break this, this is just, there's no going back. This is gonna go on spot number 5. It's gonna be this row right here. Right, this is the first row. So we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's missing. That was me poking it in earlier. So if you press down with that little tool, little hook thing, you should see the pin start to slide out. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take that out. So now what we're gonna do is park this inside of this side, and it's gonna pop out like the rest of these. The next part is obviously to wrap this in the bunch of wires here. Nothing can be close to the pulley and the belts here. The wiring is definitely something that is not the fun part of this kit, for sure. I think the DSX is a lot more flushed and a lot cleaner. I should have said that at the beginning, but with this kit, apparently, according to Lethal, you're supposed to have upgraded fuel system, like an auxiliary pump and different injectors, but we'll go ahead and take it to the tuner. We'll show you guys in the part 2 what to expect, to see if there's anything that is abnormal with this setup that I currently have. So this install took me a lot longer than what it should have. It really should be about a 45-minute job at most. And I had to figure out how to do it for the ZL1 specifically, because it is a little bit different than the SS. That is basically a tutorial. The next thing that you want to do is take it to a tuner to first check if you actually do need to have those upgraded fuel system parts like the pump and the injectors, and also to actually tune the car for E85, because the car can run right now as is, like you're fine. The flex fuel sensor is not going to be operating right now. You don't want to run E85 unless you tune the car, so that's a big thing to understand. Take it to a tuner. I'm going to be doing it with Calvo tuned, so I can keep you guys posted in the part 2 of this E85 upgrade journey. We'll explain in detail what's really next for us to do. If you found this video informative and entertaining, go ahead and hit the like button. Helps out tremendously with the algorithm. If you enjoy my content overall, hit the subscribe button. My goal is to hit 100K this year. We're about 2 months away, so we're gonna cut it a little bit close, but I have faith. And last but not least, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upgrades that I do on this car, and you don't miss that part 2 for this 5th gen ZL1 upgrade with the E85. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.